Good morning, tribe. It's Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. I'm heading out to do our 5th sales training of the year already to Myrtle Beach. But everyone's been asking me, and I did one webinar to kick off the year, how do I grow revenue now in Q1? So I wanted to give you some very specific things that I need you to do now. Okay, so I have my notes I'm looking over here. We already know that most practices are sitting on unrealized revenue. So it's not a demand problem, it is a nurturing problem. Okay, nurturing the patients you have. So what do I want you to do? I want you to think about one specific KPI, and that is your retention rate. I know it's hard to find, everyone tells me, but what is your retention rate? So what I want you to do is pull a list of patients, dedicate someone to pull a list of patients right now that have not been in between the last 90 and I'll say 180 days, okay? And then segment out that list by what they came in for: injectables, lasers, body contouring, PRP, hair restoration, I don't care. So run the list, look at your current retention rate, and it's not patients coming back for the same thing, patients coming back for multiple things. Okay, so if your retention rate is between 60 and 70%, you're stable. Over that, you're doing great. Under that, you have work to do. But if we get those patients back in the door, that is revenue now, and you haven't spent one dime in marketing. Okay, the second thing is your average patient spend. The industry average patient spend is really low. It's $550. So you guys, below averages we have to really think about why, which means we're not mastering the consultation, we're not leveraging treatment plans, and patients really aren't spending enough. That is not going to sustain profitability. So I want you to look at invoices between the last, well, I know we're into the new year, but just look at invoices between the last 30 days, identify the top 20 spenders, and then figure out what happened. Which provider saw those patients? Was somebody doing something different? And then what are we doing in those consultations? So we talked about retention and then frequency, okay? So when we're thinking about how many times do patients come back in a year, we want them to be coming back a lot of times, you guys. So you hear me talk about we have to be running a transformational business, not a transactional. So if we're not doing a treatment plan, patients are coming in for those one or two things. That is not transformational. That exactly means they have no loyalty to your practice. They're jumping around from practice to practice. And that isn't going to, again, bring patients back, getting that better outcome and increase retention. So look at that. We want them to be coming back 6+ times a year. And then treatment plan conversion. Like I said, you guys, it is January 14th. I am not joking. Between Christy, Jerry, Aaron, myself, we have been all over the country already. This is our 5th on site in 2 weeks of the year. Zero exaggeration. So why? Because people are really understanding that it doesn't matter how good your providers are how good of understanding KPIs. Those are just numbers. If you can't analyze them and make an informed decision, because if you are not selling, educating, informing at the front desk, you're losing people. If you're not mastering the consultation and they're not converting, right, at the 70+ or higher, it is a training problem. It's no other problem. And companies and businesses are finally realizing that. So, and if you want to go check out the other video on my Instagram, we dropped the bomb. We dropped some very quantifiable numbers with our clients' growth, which are exponential. So I hope these tips, you guys, I will put them in the notes for you guys to consider what these KPIs are, what you have to do to meet them. But this is how we're going to grow revenue in Q1 without any more marketing dollars. So I hope this was helpful. And if you're stuck and struggling, you guys know I love you. I want to hear from you, and we are here to support you guys. So go crush it today. Talk soon.